Look around you. Look around you and see what you can see. Or should I say, look at who is looking down upon you, upon us, around here. In a short few words, transfigured people, transfigured men and women. Transfigured, meaning, as Saint Seraphim of Sarov said, those who have obtained the gift of the Holy Spirit. They've obtained deification. They've returned to the state of Adam before he fell. And here they are looking down at us from all sides. And this is such a small sample of those that are in that sort of state. Of course, we are talking about icons today, because on the first week of the Sunday of Great Lent, this becomes a vital feast for us in many respects. In the year 787, can you believe this? 350 bishops, holy bishops. 350, ever seen 350 bishops get together? Well, they came together. City of Nicaea. And their only issue there was to confirm that all these are okay, not only okay, but vital for us to use in the path to our salvation. They said nothing new, but confirmed what Christ had given us. And indeed, these icons reflect that which Christ has given us. Having become a man himself, a perfect man, like you and I, forever. Coming first in the fallen flesh, which he inherited from the Mother of God, who inherited that from Adam. After his resurrection, he appeared with the redeemed flesh, the flesh that could go through walls, that could instantaneously, just with a thought, travel from here to the distant cosmos, distant galaxies, anything like that, where there was no barrier, no material barrier between time or matter. Even the speed of light was put to shame in the speed with which that heavenly realm operates. That's what Adam lost, and that's what Christ came to redeem us with and give back to us. And here is the example. You go into other places that call themselves Christian, that are not Orthodox, and what do you see? Empty walls, usually. Nothing there at all. You know, there's this saying, the pudding, what is it? The test of the pudding is in the eating. Test of the pudding is in the eating, something to that effect. Well, here is our eating. These are the ones that have made it into the kingdom of heaven. But you go to those other places, I hope you don't, and there is nothing there. And when you say to them, where are those that you believe have entered the kingdom of heaven? Oh, they're not there, they're dead. They're dead. Well, really. So in other words, the faith that you believe in is dead, because you have no results from that. You have no examples. You have nobody to show you and teach you how to walk that path that Christ gave us. Because we have these multitude of witnesses that have made it to the kingdom of heaven, everyone unique, everyone different, everybody's approach to spiritual life coming from a different side, yet all going for the one objective. We use them as our examples. And despite what people think, that they are prey only to Christ, only to God, it pleases God, because he became a man forever, that we also exalt and venerate these that have made it, that have become Christ-like, because Christ does dwell in all of them as he dwells in all of us, only we don't see it and we don't feel it on account of our fallen nature getting in the way all the time. But yes, he is there. He's not this figure alone like in the Old Testament times, unknown, unseen, invisible. That's why in the Old Testament times it was commanded not to make images of those sort of things, because nobody saw who God was. They didn't know who it was. So who can you make? Imagine a cloud or something, or some blob or whatever. You couldn't really make anything. But then he appeared on earth as a man. And Saint Luke, the Greek apostle, being also an artist, asked permission from the Mother of God, whom he was close with, to paint her and paint Christ. And he did. Some 70 icons, prototypes, that is, icons that become the standard model for all the works of iconography. To this day we have several of those still remaining that haven't been destroyed or lost through all the centuries when St. Luke painted these. We don't, of course, pay homage to the wood or the paint or anything like that. What we do is pay homage to the person depicted there. Because what? You stand in the corner like the Hebrews do and sway backwards and forwards in the corner, and what is there in the corner? Nothing. In our corners we have the icons to remind us of those whom are our heroes and to whom we attend in order that they may attend to us. And indeed they do attend to us. They're all looking down upon us right now and assisting in this liturgy, because by himself a priest cannot do liturgy. He needs people, and it's the people that do the liturgy. The priest is merely sort of like the coordinator of the whole thing. So these 350 holy bishops got together purely for that reason, to make that once and for all a dogma. Was the Seventh Ecumenical Council, the last council that the Church recognises as ecumenical, and what the Holy Fathers say that there will be no other one, because all those seven determined what is needed, and there is no more need for anything else, because from those seven, whatever issues come up can now be resolved quite clearly. There is no need. People talk about an eighth one and all these sorts of things. There's no need for that. We know from the dogmas of the Church what is right and what is wrong, and there is no need for any of those sorts of things. Those parishes that have a bishop on this particular day after liturgy get together for another very long service. Can be much longer than even liturgy. And they read what we call anathemas in this service. Dozens and dozens and dozens of statements. Anathemas, what are they? Banishments, expungements, banning of that which is wrong teaching, of wrong understanding. The one that we are concentrate on today is what is called iconoclasm. That's why those 350 bishops gathered to put iconoclasm to rest. Iconoclasm being the breaking and the destruction of icons. But there are numerous other heresies and wrong teachings which on this particular day are stated. And any bishop worth his salt will also include in that all the new sort of things that popped up over the year. And man, those things popped up a lot this year. The spoons, the antiseptics of the Eucharist, the masks, and all this ridiculous thing. If that bishop knows what he's doing, he would also anathematize, ban all that sort of stuff, because it goes against the whole idea of the holiness and the divinity which rests in the Church. It goes against it, and it needs to be banished, and people need to understand that and not fear these sorts of things that are brought upon us from the world under the guise of some sort of protection of your health. What a demonic temptation that is and has been over the year. And it's still not finished, and it's going to go on until they have acquired what they wish to acquire out of this particular strategy that leads not unto salvation, but like in places like Germany and others, has already banned Holy Communion. May that not be so here. That's another thing to anathematize on a day like today, to banish those sort of teachings. And if necessary, go underground like the initial church. Go into the catacombs, hide and do these services in the freedom that they are supposed to be. It's from the catacombs that we get these icons, because there they used to bury people in the walls, and they would paint their pictures, the saints. If you go into the Roman catacombs, you'll see that quite clearly. They have not been destroyed to this day. The whole structure of the church is like that, straight from the catacombs. In any case, this particular feast day is so vital because last week I said to you that Great Lent is all about returning to Eden, returning to the state of Adam before the fall. And by bringing forth all these saints, we get the different spiritualities according to our particular character. That's why we search out which saint do we have the best rapport to, which one is more akin to our spirit, and we learn from them how to conduct our spiritual life. Because everybody's different. Not everybody has the same approach. It doesn't mean that one is wrong and the other one is right, because they all lead to the same thing, but each psyche is different. That's the uniqueness of creation. And we use these, and they are pleased to give us that advice. From now on, every Sunday, we're going to get special advice from different saints. Like next week, we have Gregory Palomar, who had a particular approach. We have Mary of Egypt, who had a very great ascetic approach. We had St. John of the Ladder, which had a very systematic approach to spirituality, and so forth. Every Sunday, a new sort of approach to spiritual life, all leading to the one thing. And you find in your own life which one is the most akin to your spirit, and use that. Read their lives, read how they struggled, read the advice they gave. Probably more than one will need be, but nevertheless, that is there, and that's for us. That's the proof of the pudding, as they say, that leads to salvation, and there is no other way. God help us with this struggle, because it is indeed, and with the sort of things that are happening around the world, we can only say that we do need to really have our wits about us, about what's going on, and understand the sort of things that are happening and that are going to happen to us in various ways. God protect us and help us with this struggle. Amen. Let us say with our whole soul, with our whole mind, let us say,